Welcome to the Ocean Community 50 Under 50 series, presented by the Ocean Community Chamber of Commerce. The road to success starts at Valenti family of auto dealerships, and visibility along the journey increases greatly with the help of 321 Media. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 50 Under 50 celebration here by the Ocean Community Chamber of Commerce. My name is Ben Barber from 321 Media. This is brought to you by Valenti Family of Dealerships and 321, and I am so excited today to be joined by today's honoree for 50 Under 50, Andrew Field. Andrew, how are you?
I'm amazing this morning. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. I hope that I think that I said to you that I don't love my voiceover at the start of this thing. I think that I said that on air. I think that I accidentally said that on air, the tail end of it. I don't like the voiceover that I did. It's, it is what it is. That being said, welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm great. I think you're a little hard on yourself.
I am always a little hard on myself. That's the nature of the beast, I think. And by the beast, I just mean myself. So, Andrew, I'm going to do something a little bit different. Usually I read people's bios at them. But today we're just going to have a conversation.
Sounds great.
Usually I read the bio at them and then we have a conversation. But today, just the conversation. All right. So, first of all, let's start at the very beginning. When were you born? No. But where were you born? Were you born here? Are you a local?
Stores or Mansfield, Connecticut.
Okay.
Yep. So
that's up by Yukon, right?
It is. Yeah.
Well, Stores I know is, but so that was the dead giveaway, and then I just assumed anyway. So how'd you meander down to Stonington?
I followed some college roommates after exiting a business that I had up there. And made my way down to the Waterford area, migrated east to get over towards Westerly, and kind of bounced around for a few years, but have been down this way primarily since 2005. That's
a long time. It's 20 years.
I still don't know if I'm a local, but I'm working on it.
Listen, I think it's fine. I think you're a local now at this point.
I married one, so if that helps.
It does help.
Yes.
It legally speaking, I think you are contractually now a local.
Yes.
So
she's born and bred in Stonington. So
there you go. Well, that's it. Noah's. Let's talk about Noah's. How did you running Noah's, being the owner of Noah's, come to be?
I think my wife was pretty strong in that. Yeah, she had worked there for 20 some odd years. I think 24, actually. And her mother, second marriage to the owner. I was running restaurants here in Westerly, and working in them in Mystic area.
All right, what restaurants were you running?
All right, I ran Bridge, which is now
River
Bar. Yep. I ran that for about 6 years.
Okay.
I worked in downtown Mystic at a couple spots, but mainly a zoo. And then I worked at the Andrea for 6 years as well.
Nice. That's where I think I've seen you at the Andrea. I think that's where I met you before this journey in life. So how long have you been running Noah's now?
Let's see. April Fool's Day is my anniversary, and this is my 9th year, so 8 years so far.
Wow. April Fool's Day being an anniversary is a fun, easy way to remember it.
It's an anniversary for a few things for me, so it's actually kind of funny.
Same for me. April Fool's Day is the day that my partner and I went on our first date. Oh. So yeah, she halfway through the date was like, "What if I just ghosted you?" And I was like, "Hey, meet me at the Barley," and then I just never showed up and was like, "April Fools," and I was like, "Why would you say that on a first date? That's made me feel terrible about it." But it's been years now, so we're fine.
I found that partners that keep you on your edge of your feet and and thinking is always a good thing.
Yeah. So eight full years running Noah's. What's been the biggest? I mean, that's through COVID, which which is one of the hardest things. Hopefully the hardest thing that restaurants will ever go through. Hopefully nothing like that ever happens again. Let's find all of the wood to knock on.
I'm knocking as well, definitely.
Yep.
Although I think that taught us to be malleable.
Yeah.
It taught us to reappropriate our priorities, and it also allowed us to look at things through a different glass. So I think that was really a cherished time in my life for my interaction with my kids. I had some time off for sure. That was riddled with concern, but I found that ended up being great for families, mine specifically, but many also. I think it was interesting and eye-opening.
Yeah, that's definitely one way to put it. In a good light. What made you want to open the second restaurant or the second business?
Well, we had an opportunity to acquire the building next door. I think my grandfather said many years ago that if you ever have the opportunity to purchase your neighbor, you should. And maybe I could be making that up, but for some reason, that's what I think. And it made sense. We had an opportunity, and we took it. So my kids and I would always play in our swing set area. They had a little thing underneath the top part that we made an ice cream shop. And I always kind of thought the borough needed an ice cream shop. Now, over the years, it's had ice cream shops, but it hasn't had one in a bit of time. So we used the commercial space on the first floor there to make an ice cream shop.
Awesome.
So we do sandwiches and
yeah, I was gonna say the bodega is more than just ice cream.
It's constantly evolving. The bodega name might not best suit it. Originally, it started as a market where we had prepared foods. That was kind of a COVID-driven thing. Made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Now we do made-to-order sandwiches and salads. We have some sundries, but mainly the highlight is really the ice cream and the sandwiches and salads. So having a market per se didn't necessarily work out in the best way that we thought it would. So we pivoted, but I like the name. It's a lot to say. Some are confused by it, but nonetheless, once folks come
Borough
in,
Bodega.
the Borough Bodega,
the Borough Bodega and Scoopery. Okay,
yeah.
Well, it's the and Scoopery.
It's long. It's hard in email. Let me tell you. But didn't think that one through. But nonetheless, I think it's received pretty well. It's a seasonal place. We will open actually Friday for the season this year.
By the way, it's May 21st when we're recording this, so Friday is May 23rd that it is opening. So when you listen to this, it is open.
Memorial Day weekend, yes.
It is open.
Yeah, so yes, it should be up and running and at full steam. So the two floors above also have rentals. We had to go through and gut the entire building, except for the third floor, and put a lot of work into it. We did the same thing with the Noah's building. So COVID also taught us that we had to diversify our income stream. So that way we weren't totally reliant on one source of income for our family.
Listen, I'm a musical theater kid, and I get a lot of flack for this, but I don't know if you've ever seen Rent.
Yes,
you have.
Ago.
Okay, I've always thought Benny was right. Okay, I know that Benny is the bad guy in Rent, but I always thought that he was right, especially when he said, "Now, shutting down a homeless encampment is not good. I will say that, but the thought process of condos on the top whose rent keeps open our shop always made sense to me. I was like, that's a good business. That's a good business decision. And I was in high school, and all of the people around me were like, "You're a monster," and I'm like, he's got a point. He's got a point. If they want to have the creative fun to do, if they want to have the creative space to do what they need to do downstairs, I think the condos on top make a lot of sense.
That is the model. It's the way that it works for sure.
It is the way that it works.
Yeah.
So anyway, you can send your hate mail to the Granite Theater. I don't know why Granite Theater's catching strays, but send it to Nicole. Yeah, just send it to Nicole at Granite Theater. She'll be fine. She'll go, oh, Ben was talking about rent again. So do you think you might change the name Burrow Bodega and Scoopery, or
I don't think so.
Not at this
plenty
point,
of
right?
plenty into branding and all that. Although we could have a much better social footprint for sure. It's one of our areas of opportunity to be worked on. But no, I don't think so. I think if it goes on to someone else, or if we continue to operate it, it'll be that way.
Yeah. Love it. You coach youth sports.
I do.
Which sports?
Basketball and baseball.
Okay. Which one's your go-to? What do you prefer better? What do you like better? Pick between your favorite kids.
Baseball, just because of how much I played when I was younger. I did play a lot of basketball as well. They're completely different. You have 12 kids somewhere abouts versus 8 or 9. So I like them both equally. They're different seasons, which is helpful.
It is.
We get to integrate them. They're generally a lot of the repeat kids play because we're a small town and common age group, but it's just exciting to me to try to see these kids develop and grow into good humans through being part of a team and working with each other. I think that's the best thing to really.
That's what it's all about.
It's pretty cool.
That is cool. So Stonington Little League.
Yeah.
What's your team?
We are the Davis Standard Luchadors.
The Davis Standard Luchadors.
We are. Yep.
Why Luchadors?
My other coach, Kyle Mish, he is a traveler, and they went to Mexico, and they came back with a luchador mask.
Okay.
And it was navy blue. His son Nolan picked it out, and they have wild fantasies that keep us all on our toes. And we have a rally mask, I guess would be what it is.
Yeah.
So the mask comes out, and you look in the dugout, and kids are wearing it, and you just start chuckling, and somehow we just became the luchadors.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Now, have you been a fan of professional wrestling in the past?
No, not per se. I don't know if I could even speak to it very accurately, but I even had trouble spelling the
Luchadors.
And had to be informed of what they actually are. So no.
Which is just, by the way, Mexican professional wrestling, luchadors. People may, I mean, this is going to sound horrible, but people may be, aware of Nacho Libre, the movie Nacho Libre. That was a big thing that, but it is, people think that Americans love professional wrestling. Professional wrestlers who it's called Lucha Libre in Mexico, and they are the superheroes. Those masks, the luchador masks, are like if you talk about like people like Mil Mascares, who was like the greatest Mexican wrestler of all time, like his that's like Superman, Batman. Like they treat them as like real life comic book heroes that like it's a crazy thing. And it's nuts. But I don't know much about it other than that, but I do know that it is like a massive part of the Mexican culture, is Lucha Libre. So it's a very interesting thing that and the rally mask is awesome. So does somebody put the mask on?
Oh yeah, it's shared across. It's I'm sure not pleasurable to wear these days. Now that we're at our 10th game, 9th game, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Oh, nice.
And it lives in the catcher's gear bag. So
oh, geez.
I can only imagine how pleasurable it is to put on. But nonetheless, the kids love it. It's hilarious to watch.
How are you guys doing this year?
Tough year for us. we won a game last night. We actually had a clean sheet. We played airless baseball, which is the first time I think in my coaching career I've ever
Hey,
witnessed that. So
nice.
nice, real nice game. Our
How old
bats
are
were
the
good.
kids?
10 to 12.
10 to
Uh,
12. 10 to 12 playing an errorless game is fantastic.
yeah, unheard of.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure to be a part of. Coaching had zero to do with it, of course. The kids really pulled it together and played a great game. It was awesome. But we have a very young squad. My son's 10, his buddies are 10, and I think we have one 12-year-old on the team. So we are definitely young, playing up and trying to get more experience. So
Nice.
yeah, the league is great, but we've taken our licks this year for sure.
That's great though. Like you know, that can teach you so much more than just being an amazing team that wins everything. And like you kind of, as a coach, you're like, oh god, like like we got to get it together, we want to win, like it's more fun when you're winning, right? But as a parent, like you're like, good, face some adversity, this is nice, like
I could say
let's overcome.
I'm thankful we're competitive in these losses. I'd say 5 of our losses have been by 2 or less runs, so
Nice.
the games haven't been completely out of hand, aside from a couple. But it is hard to see the kids work and try to use their luchador mask to get them back in the
Yeah.
game and fall a bit short. But that is part of it. Is that I tell these kids all the time. A Hall of Fame baseball player hits the ball 3 out of 10 times.
Yep.
And they strike out 3 out of 10 times as well.
Yep.
And they just have a very hard time pulling that all together and giving it a bit of perspective and having the memory of a goldfish.
Yep.
But they're learning and they're having fun, and so are we. And we don't take it too seriously.
Yeah, of course. But that is the most beautiful thing about baseball, is that you fail more than you succeed.
It's crazy.
Everyone fails more than they succeed in baseball.
Yep.
So that's tremendous. Um, what do you like to do for fun with Katie and the kids?
We travel pretty well. I think that's definitely trying to blow the kids' hair back, get them some worldly experience is definitely a priority in our life. We like to spend time at our home. Definitely is a place where we find peace and get to hang together. And I think the wild circus of events that we do keeps us on our toes. So
Yeah.
we are a busy family for sure. So
You definitely. I mean, I know that you. I know that you alone are a busy guy, and then you throw into that 2 kids, and activities and sports, and at 2 businesses, and all of all of these other things, and then coaching, and then also you volunteer, and you've been a massive part of making the Stonington Lobster Trap Tree happen, which has become just such a massive shining star for Stonington, for the borough, for the community, nationally recognized. Thousands and thousands of people travel every single year to see it. Uh, you know, Over 10 engagements a year at that thing. Like, what? How did you get roped into that, first of all? And what has it been like to create the lobster trap tree?
So Lisa had a wild idea. We were chatting together, and she threw it across my bow to say, "Hey, can you build something like this?" And I'm never one short of a challenge, and I took that one. I thought it was a fantastic idea. I have a mild obsession with lobsters. As a creature and as a food item. So it was easy for me to take that and say, okay, yeah, let's figure this out. And had a lot of great help along the way to figure out how to build such a thing, to make it safe, to make it reasonably aesthetically pleasing. I think every year we can constantly get better at shape and form, and
Because it's grown.
every year.
Wow.
Yeah, every single year the shape and dimension changes, which makes it a fluid design. And yeah, it's everybody kind of shows up to help and says, "Where's the plan?" And kind of look at me, and I go, "All right, well, here's what we got." And on this rickety piece of old drywall that I have all my years kind of stapled to, and say, "Look, this is what we got." And this year we have X number of pots. And hopefully that number is correct, and we go from there and build it. It's
Where do you guys get the pots?
see, they all came from the Cape. They were all built specifically, for lobsters, but we have never used them to fish. They're just a decorative piece and a part of the art installation. So most of them have come from one manufacturer. We have had a couple of years where we've had to scratch and get a few extras that didn't match, much to Alicia's chagrin, but we bury those at the top. I don't think people can see the difference between the red piping and the white piping, especially once all the buoys and lights are on it. So, but no, it's just something that's taken a lot of time to do, but that time is really well spent. I can't even begin to comprehend the amount of accolades it's received. But that is also because of the chamber's commitment to it. The amount of time that they spend on it is staggering. There are far more people that volunteer, far more time than I do, to keep this thing to be where it is. I'm really just the guy that helps build it, disassemble it, and kind of manage its transportation.
How is the disassembling process?
Quick.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, way faster than assembly. But it's also the worst weather.
Yeah.
This year it was in the 20s and blowing 20, and it was pretty brutal out there. But it ended up coming down in a couple days. So breaking it down is actually fairly simple, if you have the right amount of people. It's all about volunteers.
Right.
The more hands, the better, as long as we're safe and smart about it. So there's a process that, every year gets a little bit easier, and we understand time and scope. So we're able to kind of
improve,
make it more efficient.
Make it more efficient. Yeah.
Yeah. But again, every year it's always different. This year the build was, staggeringly fast. But we had a really good group of people. We had people that were seasoned and experienced. So the questions were minimal. We just kind of flew, and it went really well. And it was a 50-degree day that day with no wind.
Nice.
So it's like, oh, well, today it'll happen.
I consider myself very fortunate because when Lisa has a crazy idea that she talks to me about, it usually involves me sitting at a desk with a microphone and not not disassembling however many, how many is it, like 400 lobster pots? 443 or something, 7. Yeah.
Lots.
Yeah. So it's it's not that. It's like, hey, can you spend 50 hours interviewing people? And I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem.
It's really funny how 25 pounds, after handling, at least half of them, or if not more, becomes a challenging weight.
Yeah.
You hold that 25 pound at the beginning of the day and you feel great. Midday, your hands start cramping and you start going, oh boy, we're going to make it. And of course, now we're at, 20 plus feet, and we're working our way up towards, the mid 30s. And then at the end of the day, that anchor's got to get on there. That's got 2 pots attached to it, plus an anchor, and it's got to go up 30 some odd feet. So you're looking at the thing going, okay, let's give it the last college try and let's finish this thing. But it's fun. I'm very sore the next day, if not 2. And then have to go string lights and do the rest. But it still is. I don't know. I'll continue to do it as long as I'm asked to.
That
It's
reminds me
great.
of when I started working out with a personal trainer. I considered it a good session. If when I got to my car, I had to nobody else can see me right now, but I had to throw my hands up onto the steering wheel because I couldn't right at first I could not move them to I had no strength left in my shoulders to do that. That is what I imagine you guys are like at the end of the day lifting those lobster pots.
I always have to take a couple anti-inflammatories or something effect afterwards, because sleeping that night is generally riddled with cramps.
Yeah.
So it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
But no, it's great. I mean, to be honored in so many ways, and for the art installation that it is, and the amount of people that put time into it is unimaginable. I mean, that first conversation, I would have probably never thought how far it could have gone.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so beautiful, and it's such a wonderful addition to the town. So, thank you so much for all of your hard work. Um,
Thank you. Appreciate it.
it's fantastic. Now, when um, when you're doing it, especially maybe on the 50-degree day, but on the 20-degree day, when you're disassembling that, it's 20 degrees in the beginning of January. Flip flops or no flip flops?
No flip flops. I'm
only time of the year. No flip flops.
No. If there's standing snow, I don't wear flip flops. But I do have a problem. I do wear flip flops endlessly, even on the baseball field. Unless we're playing all stars, then I find it disrespectful to the game. But yeah, it's something that I've been made fun of for sure.
Why made fun of?
I believe it's a bit of jealousy.
Okay.
I think everybody would love to wear flip flops as much as I'm able to.
Do you just have a tolerance for cold, or?
So I lived in Vermont for 3 winters, and I was on the chairlift 100 days a year, 99 my first season, and then 102 and 103. And I was probably well past frostbite more than 20 or 30 times. So I guess I'm lucky to have toes. But I don't know. I don't have a ton of feeling there. I mean, my arms and legs will get cold well before my feet. And I don't know. I feel steady in them.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't like shoes. I actually really just don't like socks.
Okay.
Yeah. So socks are the villain.
The weirdest question that we've had on a 50 under 50, I think, is about the flip flops, but it's in the bio, so I had to ask about it.
Well, I mean, so a good quality flip flop. I have a brand that I've been wearing forever. One of my restaurant mentors, he definitely turned me on to them, and almost gave me the way to or the right to wear flip flops, within a restaurant environment. And OSHA says that it's merely a suggestion and a preference, so it's not breaking any laws health wise. I mean, if anything's by my feet, it should probably go in the garbage no matter what. So I mean, it really doesn't matter. I get chuckled at and laughed at all the time when I'm cooking the line in flip flops, and they go, "You're out of your mind." And I say, well, if you drop a knife on your foot with a shoe on, it's not going to make a difference. At least I get to see what the damage is. Thankfully, we haven't done that. But
yeah, keep knocking on the wood. Well, all right. I mean, that's impressive. Now, is there a difference between flip flops and sandals to you? Like,
I think the kids call them slides.
Slides are like there's no toe part,
yes,
right?
Yeah, no thong.
That's a slide. Yep. And then thongs are okay.
No, there's definitely a difference. You can manipulate your toes to grab the thong, and very comfortable on ladders because they kind of wrap around the bars. I spend a lot of time on ladders. I found a workaround for all of them. And it's funny, I put on my baseball cleats to play, or my basketball shoes, and I find myself tripping because the soles are so thick. And Yeah, I don't trust them or know them.
Would you play basketball in flip flops if you could?
Oh, absolutely, I do. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
No. It's doesn't bother me. They're an appendage. They're
Yeah.
just part of who I am. I wake up and put them on, and I go to bed and kick them off, and they're.
I am so envious of you.
See, that's what I
I'm
think.
envious of you. I've
Right.
never been able to get into it. I've never been able to get into them.
I don't know if I have the prettiest feet in the world, but they're not hideous by any means. I don't have the tree climber or climber toe, but and I'm not a pedicure guy.
I was just
Although
going to ask if
the
you were a
massage is
pedicure guy.
fantastic of a pedicure. I would love to have that weekly, but I do keep my nails tight.
The first time my girlfriend and I went to the beach together, afterwards we came back to my house and we were just chilling out by the fire pit, and I had sandals on, and she very innocently said, "Have you ever thought about getting a pedicure?" And I was like, "I'm gonna kill myself." Like I was like, I'm never doing this again, right? Because it was very early on in our relationship, and I freaked out internally in my head. She was like, "I thought that would be a fun date for us." And I was like, "Oh no, I don't like that either." But I immediately in my head was like, "I'm a monster." So
Wait, so you didn't?
no, we didn't do it. We didn't do it. But
Put it on the list.
I know she keeps saying we got to do it. So
My wife and I have done it, and it's amazing.
I gotta. But that's all she was suggesting. But to me, I was like, I'm a freak. I'm a monster. I need to stop. So I've never been able to get into sandals, especially not flip flops. I can do slides. I've never, since I was a little kid, the toe thong just freaks me out, man. It freaks me out. So I'm jealous of you because I wish I could. You look so confident. You just like it exudes confidence. The fact that you can wear flip flops all the time exudes confidence.
Yeah, we're a level of stupidity either way.
No,
but
you look confident, calm, and relaxed.
I mean, that's just because the host is so accommodating.
Okay, all right. Well, enough of that.
There's a lot of pressure in these interviews,
Are there?
I mean, gotta watch what you say for a little bit,
Yeah.
no cussing, which is hard for me. Although around the kids, we try to keep it polite.
Yep. Come on a normal 3-2-1 interview. You can say within reason anything you want.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
We try to keep it classy for the chamber, but if you're just on a show with, and also we keep it classy for the chamber and for sports.
Okay.
Nothing, anything that involves the high school and the kids and stuff. That's absolutely like that has to be PG. That has to be PG. But it's streaming. There's no FCC. If you want to drop an F-bomb and it's within reason, like it's completely fine. On a normal 3-2, not this. I got to edit it out if you say it here. But
if I was trying to call a lacrosse game, I'd probably be much less comfortable. That's for sure.
Well, no one knows what the rules of lacrosse are. I don't even think the refs do. I stand by that. I don't think this is a conversation we were having off air before
right.
with Ken Collins. I do not think that people know what the rules of lacrosse are.
I do not.
I do not either. But I would love to talk baseball or basketball with you anytime. Thank you so much for being here. My final question: what did it mean to be one of the 50 under 50?
Amazing honor. I could say that I could contribute more to our community, for sure. But I'm really honored that someone took the time to think that I should be part of this group. The group is lined up with so many people that I know, have worked with or volunteered with over the years. It's a great group. It's an awesome thing that the chamber does, the help from Valenti and everybody else. This is a great honor. Look forward to the event. I was lucky enough to also be named 40 under 40 some 10 years ago. So I think it's great. I look forward to doing that and trying to raise some funds for it.
What's been more of an honor, the 40 under 40 or the 50 under 50? Now, when you say that, I just want to let you know, just a reminder, you didn't get to do an interview with me for 40 under 40.
This is true.
So
this is true. I would say they each have their own unique qualities, while still being of the same discipline. So I think to repeat is great. I don't know what I did to be 40 under 40, but I can't imagine that. But we've done a lot since, and I think these opportunities give us the chance to do more as time allows, and it's volunteering keeps our world moving. Allows things to happen for everybody in our community that's willing to participate, and I think it's something that we should all try to find time to do.
awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here, Andrew. Guys, go check out Noah's or the Burro Bodega, which is open now. Not now as I'm saying it, but when you're listening to this and watching it, definitely now. Go check that Burro Bodega and Scoopery.
And Scoopery, you got
I
it.
got to be honest, the word Scoopery is my favorite thing ever now. So
Scoopery is a great word. Yeah,
it's a fantastic word.
Yeah.
So thank you, Andrew. Thank you, everybody, for watching. This has been 50 Under 50, presented by the Ocean Community Chamber of Commerce, powered by Valenti Family of Dealerships and 321 Media. My name is Ben Barber from 321. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye for now.